When I did the first motorcycle safety discussion, I talked about a couple of the books that I like. Twist of the Wrist, Volume 1 and Volume 2 by Keith Code. It's actually racing technology, but every bit of it applies to street riding. And I talked about Sonny Barger's Let's Ride, kind of a look at motorcycling from the one percenter club perspective, which I actually found a very interesting read. I think some of those guys are known more for a lot of their exploits, but they're a motorcycle club. That's sort of their common denominator, is motorcycles. Sonny talks about that in his book, you know, that when you're out riding, if you see another guy on a bike, you give them the wave. I always wave at the other motorcyclists. I don't care if you're on a dual sport, a sport bike, a Harley, a Beamer. I have noticed that some guys don't wave. You know, that may be a little bit of an unfair characterization. It could be a guy doesn't wave at you because he doesn't see you. But I think some of it is tribal. I tend to look at motorcycling as a whole being a tribe. I mean, granted, there are subcultures to the subculture. Another book that I like about motorcycling is a book called The Proficient Motorcyclist, and it's written by a guy named David Howe, and he wrote a motorcycle safety column for a magazine. His book, The Proficient Motorcyclist, is, I think, basically a compilation of articles that he wrote for the magazine for the most part, whereas Keith Code talked about the taboo subject of crashing. Dave Howe in The Proficient Motorcyclist addresses the taboo subject of lane splitting. I think his opinion is informed, and I think his opinion is well balanced. And I tend to agree with his assessment. His assessment is that you're safer in dense traffic if you're lane splitting, largely because when you're behind a car, if it stops, if the person behind you doesn't stop, you're going to have a heap of trouble on your hands. Let's reset the cruise control. Another form of lane splitting in traffic is the one that I think the Europeans call it filtering. Filtering is when you have two lines of cars, like let's say lined up at an intersection waiting at a red light, and you filter your way on up to the front. A lot of car drivers think you're just taking cuts because you don't want to wait, but the reason I filter is because if I'm sitting at the end of a line of cars and there's people that are coming up on us quick, I'm a sitting duck on a motorcycle. And in cars, that scenario of sitting at a red light, I've been rear-ended 3 times in my driving career. And I'm going to make damn sure that that doesn't happen to me. On a motorcycle. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, we're gonna get to do some lane splitting. Wow, the nice, kind people saw me coming and moved out the way. It's always nice. Just click the brights on. Should always have the brights on during the day. And every once in a while you get one of these people that's asleep and they're kind of blocking the road and you have to go around them. Wow, this is, I didn't expect this at all. I was kind of looking forward to filming some lane splitting with the GoPro and then seeing what it looks like. I try to keep my speed to, I think the Highway Patrol recommends no more than 10 miles an hour faster than the cars. The other thing to watch out for is people who may think that their lane is moving faster or they think the other lane is moving faster, so they will suddenly come darting over. And usually it's if, oh, here's, okay, we got an accident. What's going on? Oh, the guy spun it out. Wow. Oh, looks like he, wow. What do they call that? One of those guys was pulling a trailer.